Hi guys.
Hello, everyone.
What's up? I know that we don't have this as a scheduled live. We didn't tell anybody we're going to go live. We are kind of just playing it by ear, but we felt
Yeah.
really terrible that Wednesday with our country internet that we didn't get to hang out with all of you.
Yeah, we miss hanging out with everyone
Yeah.
when we don't get a chance to. And
Yeah, we had a little bit of downtime. We've been outside, in and out a couple times tonight already. Kind of on coyote watch. Was putting some goats up tonight, and they're already howling across the street. So, um, had to be out there a couple times already. Unhappily, it's very cold. We had 50s and 60s earlier this week, and of
yeah,
course tonight it's like a high of. Well, actually tonight it's like a low in the
yeah, I was
teens,
gonna say
so
it's
it
gonna
is it
drop
is
pretty hard.
very cold
But then
outside right
again,
now.
Sunday it's gonna get back up in the 50s or so.
Hmm.
So we're just gonna have this fun spell of going up and down the weather roller coaster. So
It can be fun because it kind of like teases you for spring, but
mhm.
we definitely are in like that roller coaster of not it's hopeful to me because I'm like, okay, we're in the roller coaster, which means we're getting closer to spring.
Yeah.
But it's on the cold days where it just kills me with like depression. Where I'm like, why can't it just be
Yeah.
warm already?
And then also just trying to stay healthy because like
Yeah.
bugs seem like they go around when
Yes,
people getting
especially
sick up and down.
especially like with the weather fluctuation, it just seems like it's really hard for people to kind of
Hmm.
keep up with it, just immuno wise. I see we got Miss Margie in
Yeah,
the
hello,
house. Hello,
Margie.
Margie.
So,
Stephanie, what's up?
So real quick, funny little thing, Margie. We just came in from outside checking for watching the field for coyotes,
Hmm.
and Dilly was in there banging around. I was like, "What in the world is
I
that?" And
know.
Ashley's
Mark
like,
looked at
"She's
me and
not
I'm
happy
like,
with her neighbors in the stall next
yeah.
door."
So
Yeah.
she's got all the bucks in the stall next to her, and I am sure that she is just giving them what for because
Mhm.
Flu was extra like
Yeah.
when I brought her in tonight.
So
So
he's irritating her. She's tired of it. We have to put them all in the stalls, as Ashley said, because
yeah,
of
with
the
this the
coyotes.
coyote
But
keeps coming in.
Queen
So
Dilly does not like sharing the barn with others, so she gets her own
no,
little
she
space.
does not. She doesn't play well with others. So like we were
Margie's
out
exactly
there.
right. Dilly is a stinker.
She is
She
a
is a
stinker.
stinker.
But it was just like bam, bam,
Oh yeah,
bam. And Mark's looking at me and he's like, "What is that?" And I'm
yeah.
like, "That is Dilly." I am sure
So
she's
usually she's
ramming
not
the stall
locked in the
door.
stall, so she's
Yeah.
not too bothered in there. But
Yeah.
yeah.
She does kind of like it though because she gets her own special flake of hay because
Hmm.
Dilly is getting up there in years. It is one of those
Yeah.
where I'm just like, you're moving slower and you're grouchier and you're not holding weight. So
Yeah.
I'm like,
Hello, Randy. How are you? Do
hey,
you
Randy.
still have any of the puppies left? I know you were dwindling down last we talked. Fingers crossed you're sold out because Ashley would be tempted
I
to buy
know.
one. So
I've been reading
yeah,
up. I've been reading up. Like I said, I'm just really concerned how our donkeys are gonna do with
yeah.
dogs.
But I don't know. The dogs didn't behave too well tonight. We went out to dinner. We came back, and of course everything's muddy because it warmed up today
Hmm.
a little bit. And the dog got up on the couch with some
Yeah, I
muddy
went to go
paws. So
sit down. I'm like, what is all this dust? I'm like,
yeah,
one of the dirty
I
dogs got up on
still
the
got three
couch.
left.
Uh,
That's
I can't
pressure.
handle. Here's my
Yeah.
thing though. I can't handle a whole lot of temptation, but I have to
Yeah.
because baby goat season is
Well,
coming.
Randy, you said they're
So,
Great Pyrenees, right?
yeah,
Which Great Pyrenees are beautiful
the
dogs.
big white fluffy dogs.
I remember the first time going to a goat farm, and this was when I was pretty young, when we were getting into goats pretty early on, and we saw those dogs out in the fields, and
Yeah,
they're beautiful dogs,
they
honestly.
really are. They really really
Is
are.
that
I've always
when
liked
we
them.
went down to pick up what was his name, Poseidon? Was that what was in the pen with him?
Yeah,
What did she have? Yeah,
yeah.
because they were running around.
Jean runs Great Piers in with
Yeah.
all of her. One of my good friends, who's like a master exhibitor for waterfowl, is a. She's got a bunch of Great Piers in with like all of
Hmm.
her birds, and they. I mean, it's tried and true. It being bred for livestock guardianship is a specific trait, and like I can see it in June. June does exercise that when she's out there, but she's been
Yeah.
raised in here with us, so I don't think she could ever go outside and be a real
Yeah.
livestock guardian dog. It
No,
would
she
depress
would.
her. She'd really want to be in here with us.
Hello,
So.
Patty.
Hey, Patty,
How's
what's
things
up?
going? Are you settled in? Still unpacking a
Yeah,
bit?
steal yourself for me. I
Yeah.
know I have to, Patty, because then if I don't get a dog
Yeah.
right now, then maybe I can make a bigger case as to why I need to keep more of my baby goats.
Yeah, there's only so much
I
space we've got. We're trying to divvy it out, but
Well, poor Mark today. He was working really. It's been a really crazy week. So like, I know our energy was a little bit weird on Wednesday before Country Internet decided, hey, no more of you guys. But it's just been like a really stressful week. But it was funny because he's been really focused on trying to get a couple of projects done. And I'm over there. I'm like, give me some baby goat names. I don't want to like have to think about it a whole lot. I want to have a list made for. And I could just tell like that I was just gritting against like his gears because I could tell he's like hyper focused. He's like, you really want to talk about baby goats when I'm trying to get this done?
I had
I'm
a
like,
deadline today.
I was like, yeah, I do.
I already have bad trouble with ADHD or whatever when I'm working on a computer. So I'm one of those, and email pops up, I'm instantly distracted by that, jump on that. So she was trying to talk, and I was trying to do that.
He was very focused. I found myself a lot to be like, I'm sorry, I know you don't want to talk to me right now.
So Patty said, what kind of dogs do you breed, Randy? And Randy replied back, Great Pyrenees.
Yeah.
Patty, warning, if you go look at them, they're beautiful dogs.
They're so pretty.
Now, Randy, does yours so-called talk a lot? I know that's
they're supposed to be really vocal, but that's part of the way that
honestly,
they keep the animals away.
Our dog
barking.
June is part Great Pyrenees, and she is very vocal compared to any dog.
Talks a
like
lot.
You could point at her, and she just sort of like
yeah. Well, and I've kind of got to train her. I'm like, don't talk back to me, and she'll be like,
yeah.
Like the more I do it, the louder and more crazy she gets. So I've really tried to keep those talking traits.
Yep.
Going strong, but only when I'm telling her not to talk back to me. I said hi to Stephanie.
Okay.
Stephanie, tell him I said hello to you.
Always someone miss saying hello to anybody.
He doesn't get worried. I left you out.
So Patty said it was. Patty was talking about her day up there. She said it was a gorgeous day here today, and such a mood boost from the gray, rainy days we had earlier this week. Ashley goes through those spells too. With those rainy, it was actually, what was that, yesterday or the day before?
It rained all day
long. She's like, this is killing me today, just seeing it gray. And
it was gray all day. It rained all day. It flooded my barn. There was water all over the yards, and then it got really cold last night and froze everything. So this morning, like the whole back of the goat barn was just like a lake of ice.
The car was a block of ice. I had to take Joe to school this morning. We actually
had a 2-hour delay.
Yeah. And the wheels were stuck to the ground. I went to go roll.
He said he had to take he had to gas it. So I was like, what was that? And I'm like, well, it was stuck to the ground because of all the rain we got. But
hola, Emma.
Hello, Emma.
I hope you do another live soon. We were looking forward to watching you, and you had Matt there, so we were looking forward to that.
Yeah, I'm really glad to see Matt with you a lot more, like in your lives, just because he seems really cool. And I'm really sorry if I'm going to bother him to bedazzle his beard. I know it's not going to happen, but I am one to keep on things. It doesn't
seem like he likes.
I don't feel like he's going to give on it at all, but I can still be annoying. So. I apologize ahead of time. If anybody ever has long beard, I'm like, bedazzle it. I don't know why. It's just what I do.
There's Darren. Hey guys.
Darren, what's up?
You had a great live last night.
Yeah, you did.
Ashley was talking about not trying shepherd's pie. You got some intrigued to try that.
I started looking up recipes actually today to see like, is this something my culinary skills can do? Because they're not like ample, but I could try.
Mm-hmm.
I'm nowhere near Emma status. I know surprise lives. They're the best. Hello, Redbird Farm. How are you?
Redbird. Patty said, I love dogs, and those are so beautiful. Dogs that talk are so cool, too. Yeah.
Yes. Except for my little dog.
Mm-hmm.
She's got the whoo, and he's just,
the high pitch, sort of. Yeah, when he stands at the door, he's actually pretty quiet most of the time. But
he's found ways to wake me up, though, without barking, where he will jump off the bed and it's like he walks around and like stomps his feet.
Yeah, really tries to make a
breathe really hard and like licks his lips really hard because he knows it's going to be like. And the moment I move, like anywhere close to like 5 o'clock or 6, it gets worse. And I'm always having to be like, get out of here, because I know I can get another hour out of him, but he knows like when I move, or I swear he can see when I open my eyes. So yeah, once my eyes are open, he's bothering me.
Oh yeah. Patty said, oh no, ice is not nice to wake up to. It was not for sure.
Yeah. Mark almost bit it, actually, in the driveway. He didn't know I was watching from our office window. But the dog started looking out the window, and I'm like, what's going on? And then poor Mark, I guess, what was it? The windshield wiper was frozen to the window, and it came off.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I had to go around and get
put that back on. So
which that was my fault. I knocked it off the last snow. So
yeah,
I was kind of to blame for the shenanigans.
I know Patty's calling out to Emma, but she said she votes for more lives and with Matt too.
Yes.
Yep.
He's totally not giving in on any beard decorations. I didn't think he would, but I can still harass.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't like to be harassed, you can always like private message and be like, Ashley, cool it. And I'll be like, all right, I got it.
Yeah. And I won't say nothing yet, just in case Emma doesn't want to share specifically what it was, but I heard she got a surprise, which was cool.
She got a surprise. So I'm excited
I'll hold back
for
from
that.
saying exactly.
I was gonna say now you can't go give things away for other people's channels.
I was giddy to see it.
Cool. We were geeking.
Yeah.
We were geeking hard.
Randy said, I had to stop yesterday because of ice and roads closed today in Illinois. I heard you guys got it really bad. Like further up north you went.
Yeah.
But down in, I think, southern parts, they actually had some. We watch on YouTube some of the lives we'll watch when we don't have anything else to pick up, or catch up. Storm chasers and tornado chasers. And there were a bunch down in, I think, Alabama, Mississippi, that area. Yeah. So
we actually had a very small risk of tornadoes, which made sense because it was like 60 degrees in the morning. And then by the evening, like it was snowing. So we had like a really fast temperature shift last night.
They thought there was possible risk of some heavy winds or bad storms here during that. But fortunately,
I know Indy flooded, like Indianapolis. I say Indy, but like a lot of people that he works with are actually in the offices in Indianapolis. And they're like, it's flooding everywhere up here because we just got nonstop rain.
On top of it.
Yeah. The ground was already saturated. There's nowhere for the water to go.
Patty said shepherd's pie is easy peasy food, really.
Really?
That's the type of food we like.
Maybe I'll try that soon.
So, Patty, any tips on how you make yours shepherd pie if you make it? I heard Darren and Brigitte saying like there was a variance, like what was it? Brigitte's had like peas and carrots or something, and then maybe Darren's had cream corn or something like that. Yeah. There's some variances.
I caught a lot about cream corn. Darren, do you care to elaborate? Do you really like cream corn?
I like get into that skin thing, Darren. That was a little deep for me, but
we really enjoyed your live last night. Like I kept jumping in and out,
chuckling at each other. We were both in there, of course. So
yeah, it was good time.
Patty said, "Little dogs usually are a bit too much for me with the high pitch bark."
Django would not be your cup of tea.
Yeah, Ashley's right on board with you there.
And he's the only little dog I've ever bought, and I've said he is the last small dog that I will ever have.
Oh yeah.
I say that with so much love because he is a good boy.
Yep.
But there are certain things about small dogs where I'm like, you're like the worst mix of like a cat and a dog. Like, I just be one or the other.
Yeah. Emma said, that's why I messaged you. I knew you'd get it. Can't wait to share the news.
I know. Yeah. I was just like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, it's fun. It's always fun.
Oh, wow. Randy
100 car wreck.
Man. That would stop a highway for a while.
Wow.
On I-39.
Yeah. So we're actually in East Central Indiana. We're right against Ohio. We like kiss the Ohio border.
Yeah.
It's not, it's just a few miles away.
Taryn said they got their foot of snow overnight. I heard you talking about what was predicted, so it sounds like that came true.
That's awful.
Let's see. Darren also said basically ground beef, corn, and mashed potatoes.
That sounds amazing. Do you substitute your beef? I've heard some people use like lamb, like sheep.
Yeah.
For shepherd's pie.
And the funny thing is, like, we'll fix deer steaks and we'll have corn and mashed potatoes. So do you just like smash it together
and bake it?
Put it in a pie pan? I mean, I haven't really looked at
Nobody I've ever been around here has ever made shepherd's pie. And I don't know if it's just like because of our region or what, but I've never had, nobody I've ever been around has ever made it while I was present. So.
But it sounds like food we typically eat just in pie form. I love pie, so I'm willing to try it.
And who can say no to pie, especially food you already love as a pie?
Darren said, glad you had a good time in the live. We try to make it fun. You guys definitely do. Yeah. I love the back and forth you and Brigitte have. It's just entertaining.
Yeah. Then Patty says, you can put the veggies you like in it, basically mashed potatoes, veggies, and ground meat with sauce, gravy, and I'm glad I already had dinner because this makes me a little hungry. Look at everybody just throwing in what they're doing with it. I love it.
Here's Tammy's. So Tammy's shepherd pie is made from leftover layer cooked burger, venison here, which
we got plenty of that.
Yep, that falls right in line with us. Gravy, veggies, which includes peas, carrots, corn, and mashed potatoes, and cheese and baked heat.
Oh my gosh, you guys!
Wow, think we need to try it.
So just smash it all together. We all do on our plate anyways.
Yeah, true.
This is true.
But I am the type that
he doesn't let anything touch.
Yeah, I'm like picky.
My daughter too. He will see me like mix like peas and macaroni and cheese like all together, and he's like, I'm like, it is delicious.
Yeah, it actually don't make me want to get sick, but I'm just like,
it's
I
gross.
want to
He gets
each.
gross.
I get picky. Like I want to taste what I'm eating at that point.
Well, like for
you've made me go that way, but like yesterday we had mashed potatoes and green beans, and I had them mixed up. So
you did?
Yeah.
I didn't even see that. Well, see, like he probably does it where like I can't see it because he doesn't want me to know that I've influenced.
Well, it was also because I got done cooking and I had mine done last. And I usually just eat out of the pots and pans so I don't get any dishes dirty. So.
Yeah. It's amazing. Like when you cook dinner.
Yeah.
Like
you're like, oh,
I'll do that. Or it's funny because like when you're the one that makes dinner, when I make it, he and Joe get served first. I get served last. When he makes it, me and Joe get served first and he's last. So I think that's just kind of fun. Anybody else like that in your household? Like if you cook the food, like you pretty much like eat while you're cooking or you're the last to eat because you're putting everybody else's plates together? Just curious.
Yeah.
All Recipes has a gob of recipes. I'm sure Homesteaders on here do too. Yeah. I have been on All Recipes before. Yeah. I'm hungry. Still have to make mine. Oh, I'm sorry, Patty.
Shepherd's pie sounds like a good choice.
Right. That's right.
So
taco soup tonight. That sounds amazing. We actually went out. So Joe's been doing a different type of. She's been doing yarn painting. Has anybody ever heard that? But it's not like painting. Emma, I'm sure you probably. But she's taking like yarn and she makes it into a picture.
Yeah.
And she did a really cool one. Like I went by and she's like, look at what I'm doing, and it was a tree that had music notes all over it and a 4-leaf clover. And I'm like, well, what is? She's like, well, the tree is like represents family, like a family tree, and I love music and I love 4-H. And I was like, can you make me one? So she said for 4-H she would make one of Willow the goat and use it as a project, and then I could have it afterwards. So we went to Hobby Lobby tonight to buy extra yarn because she needed more yarn. And anytime this girl wants to do anything artistic, I'm like, yes, let's go get the stuff that you need now, because like I just want to encourage her to be able to express in that way.
Yeah.
But then we went to Chili's.
Tammy said taco soup sounds good. Redbird. Where we worked, a lot of the food was pre-made or packaged and cooked, but they did have the guy handmade taco soup there, and it was always good.
It was really good.
Yeah, it was a really good.
It was always really, really good.
It was one of my favorite soups when they did it.
Emma had Sonic for dinner. I'm not the only one. Man, when it is cold and icky and gross out, I'm like, I don't want to cook on Friday.
With the commercials where the two guys are in the car. That's right. Yeah. I love those commercials. They're hilarious.
Wasn't the most latest one with like the Oreos? Like he was like Oreos, like the 2 cookies or 2 Oreo cookies, and they've just got icing, or is it all together an Oreo? They're like, whoa.
Yeah. I love the guy that's a little goofy. He's hilarious in that.
Of course, that's the part of the commercial. They're like, whoa. Yeah. I remember that part. But
Patty said it's also good with mashed cauliflower, which you would like.
I would love
instead of potatoes if someone doesn't want the potatoes. Yeah, you're a fan of cauliflower.
I love it raw. I love it. I love cauliflower.
Yeah. A lot of times for lunch, you would just take cauliflower and either sometimes have ranch
or like steamed cauliflower cheese. That is so good.
That would be a winner for you.
It's so good. With mashed potatoes, so then it's all the mushy textures in the world.
It didn't work out. That was cauliflower.
Cauliflower tater tots.
Yeah.
They were gross.
It was gross. The texture, they were just soggy. They wouldn't.
But I've had them where and it had to be the way they done it. But I have had like cauliflowers mushed up where it has like the same consistency. One of those things you just need to fry over bake too. Maybe it might have been, or maybe it just was like crap.
Everything's better fried.
Maybe it was just crap. I don't know. Sometimes you just can't make excuses for crap.
That was Tammy. Let's see. Emma said, "I'm not about eating last. We sit down at the same time to eat together most of the time."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Usually for us, by the time one of us is cooking, now if I cook, I can kind of do that because he works an hour later than I do. But if he cooks, like I've already been off for an hour, he's already ravenous, and it's like, no, just like push the food out.
Yeah, it's like a server line coming in. Yeah, usually Joe come in, grab her plate, go sit down. Ashley will usually come in right about, I try to time it when she's coming in from feeding. Yeah, so I'll turn things down and keep them warm while she's out there. And we get to eat together sometimes near the end.
Sometimes we do. Or if I cook, I make sure I'm done at 4:30.
It really depends on how much steak I cook, because if I can't get it on the skillet, Mine will go on the second round.
Yeah,
so.
this is true. That's true.
Let's see. Patty said, "So cool. Please get pics of her work."
I will. Yep. I definitely will, because she's really finding her passions for like arts right now. And she did agree to softball again this year. For the longest time, ever since last season, she's like, I'm not doing it.
She's been playing basketball in gym, so she's got the sports side. But she's
starting
definitely
to try new things.
More artistic on that side. I mean,
yeah,
she's even been interested in the 3D printer, which if you hear that little whiny noise, that's actually over my shoulder there.
I'm getting my smug goat.
Yeah, I'm doing the smug goat right
getting
now.
My goat figurine.
She's shown interest in that, but she's got talent to do it. So we keep encouraging her. So we'll definitely share some of that, Patty.
Yeah.
Patty said, I'm heating up chili, starving here.
Oh, that sounds
one
really
of
good,
Ashley's
though.
favorites.
Chili improves. Like the longer it sits, even like when it's frozen, I swear, it tastes great fresh.
Sort of marinates in.
It does. It's like the longer that it gets reheated, the more I'm like, it just is better every time.
Yeah.
That might just be me though. But my chili is never the same every time either. So much to his chagrin. He'll be like, did you write this one down because it's really good? I'm like, nope. Just threw stuff in the pot until it felt right.
Happy Quack Farms. Hello.
Hello. And hey, Tammy. Crochet Blessed. Mashed cauliflower. I agree. Mm-hmm. I am a fan of cauliflower. 100%. Like but I never grow it well. I always start it too late, and then it gets fried.
Well in our region?
It does, but it's a cool weather crop. So like I need to start those this weekend with my peppers so they can go outside
Ashley's
early.
Honestly been knee deep into the seed stuff. These warm spells.
Get her a little intrigued.
And I don't know if you can see behind her. She's got a bowl.
Oh, yeah. Like right here.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually for chicken fodder, though.
Yep. Which worked last year.
Our grass is just crap right now. Everything is dormant. They loved it last year. Mm-hmm. And now with this avian influenza, like kind of circulating in Indiana and Kentucky.
Got a friend that works close to it, so she's getting consistent updates.
And
there was a turkey farm hit south of here.
I think we've actually got three turkey farms at this point. 2 were confirmed. 1 I think might still be up in the air. But I mean,
hello, Jay. He says he said I could boil a mean pot of water. There you go, Jay. I'm on board with that. Hey, sometimes you need a good
you almost made him
pot of water for hot chocolate.
Scared me to death.
That scared me up because I'm like, oh, what's the recipe is that? Oh.
You're so ridiculous.
I know, bad timing.
But the reason I'm doing the fodder is because with this this avian bird flu that's like an this avian influenza that's going around. I mean, if this 3rd turkey farm is confirmed, and that's over 100,000 birds like within the last week and a half that have been like euthanized. They're just gone because there's been confirmed cases.
And if you're following close, they're like even asking somebody if they find 5 dead birds in a small
I freaked
area.
out. I found a dead sparrow in the barn. It was like, but then I went online and read because I got really worried. I'm like, do I need to report this? And it said 5 or more.
Yeah.
And I'm like, 1 dead sparrow isn't anything to be crazy about. But because of that, I've been keeping them in, and I've got netting over their run, so I don't have to worry too much about wild birds getting into their run.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I've been trying to figure out things to keep them kind of interested because I'm like, that sucks to be kept in a muddy run.
Yeah.
Because I'm scared for them to get out. Because if we were to have a case here break out, or like, because I mean, it can travel through migratory birds.
Mm-hmm.
So if we had a case here, like that's our entire flock. That's all of our chickens, our turkey, all of our ducks, and I'm just. My heart sinks just even thinking about it. So no, just keeping them in.
Yeah. Emma said taco soup is good, but I only just started making it last year. Some local peeps were like, how do you not make taco soup? You're Mexican. But is taco soup really Mexican? Like, it's like, I don't know. Do they
just
make
because it's got taco?
Yeah. They just assume it is? Yeah.
You know what they say about assuming, Emma?
Yeah.
I like to say that to people and they're like, what do they say? And then I'm telling
like, why do you need soup if you can actually get a taco anyways? That's my thought.
So then we've got Jay says, if you hear the whiny noise on my end, it's just Cheryl. Oh, dang, Jay, coming in hot tonight, are you?
Jay is hilarious.
Cheryl's a saint in my book, Jay. You're a hoot.
So now you know what I mean by the code word 3D printer. Like, what's whining? No,
so now I'm the 3D printer. Like, the 3D printer's really whining loud today. It's like
somebody stay under the radar with it. Stay out of trouble.
Thanks for giving him ideas on giving me more code things, Jay.
Emma said the AI stuff has got us changing plans for our new run. Want to protect my ladies best I can.
You have to.
Speaking of birds, though, I actually had an interesting
encounter the other day.
It was both interesting. we did put a camera up in the back, but it didn't catch it, unfortunately.
It caught it like over there.
Yeah.
Way far away. You couldn't tell what it was. But I was finishing up with the chickens in the morning. I throw them some scratch and let them do their thing. And the dogs took off across the yard. And of course, like with this coyote business and possums getting into the beehives, like I'm just on high alert. Every time I walk out, like I'm just I feel like people probably think like that I just have nervous tics when I'm outside, or that I'm paranoid, but I am, because of all the predators we've been having. So the dogs start running towards the woods, and I'm looking, and June loves to chase buzzards. Like we'll chase them across the field, just running with her head up. And her head was up. So I looked up, and it was a freaking bald eagle.
Yeah.
Like it flew so low. I looked straight, it flew like right over me. I'm like, I could look into its eyes.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
we have them in the area.
We do, but
near
I've never
the lake,
seen them
but
this
not
close.
this far out.
And
yeah.
all I can think is, I'm like, eagles probably like chickens. They love ducks, I'm sure, being more of like a waterside bird. I'm like, and baby goats are small enough to be taken by an eagle. Yeah. So it's just like, I do not need any more
I won't lie, they're gorgeous birds. So when we go to the lake, we look for them and try to sightsee a bit.
We have ospreys that nest in the cell tower, just like stone's throw through the woods.
The cell tower is actually in I grew up with them, my childhood friend's yard, and they leave bluegill bodies all over the ground and over his yard. He said they just go up there and I guess kick them out of the nest, so they'll be like.
I personally love them because I've watched them dive bomb the red tails here. Mm-hmm. The ospreys and red tails do not get along, and because they are nested so close, like sometimes like I know a hawk is around because the ospreys are going crazy. So
yeah. Oh, Patty said crows are the bellwether bird for avian bird flu here in this area. I remember last year. When Cheryl in Scotland had to quarantine all of her birds for some time. What a nightmare.
I know. Well, it was weird because like I saw like a flyer from Kentucky and they were saying this strain is more through waterfowl, which made me worry because I'm like, well, the sandhill cranes are migrating through here and technically they're waterfowl. So they're actually flying like on all sides of the house today, like while I was feeding, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't handle this, like I can't handle it. They're just not just because like that would be a food source, but like I love my chickens.
Makes you want to be like 2022, do better.
Dude, for real. I'm like, get it together. Like you guys don't have to keep topping each other. It's okay.
I'll hold my beer session.
Emma says no, taco soup is not Mexican. We don't eat ground beef much, honestly. That makes sense though.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Tammy Crochet said taco soup is good. I got was it Las Palas? Here in Texas for
Las Palapas.
Thank you. What?
Las Palapas.
Yeah.
You're so cute. Eagles like to eat dead deer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nine times out of 10 we see them on roadkill.
Yeah, you're
when
exactly
they're on
right,
the ground,
Betty.
they're on roadkill.
The sad part is, unfortunately, I know we have a bird sanctuary nearby. It's called Houston Woods Nature Park nearby, and they have talks about how many bald eagles are actually hit by cars because they eat, like you said, dead animals, especially fresh ones. And as you mentioned, they're usually on the road, unfortunately. But they're gigantic. I mean, they're big birds.
It was just funny because, like, as a girl growing up in this area, I never saw eagles. It was probably not until, like, goodness, we were married.
Yeah.
Or at least dating very seriously or engaged or something before they started saying, hey, we're starting to see these around here again. So, but they've really repopulated quickly. When we were going to our deer processor last year, like we went down and the road that runs to our deer processor runs right along part of the river. And no joke, there were like 3 adults and 6 juveniles.
Yeah.
And like, as you went down, you could be like, there's one. And they were all along the trees. It was so cool. But now that one's flying over my goat pen, I'm like, oh God, please just like fish. Like, don't like ducks or goats.
Hattie said, that's pretty cool. Did you hear about the giant eagle species that showed up here in the U.S. this month?
What?
It's massive. I have not heard about that.
What kind of species?
If you know what kind it is, feel free to pop in the chat. I want to check that out after. And is it more on the West Coast or? Huh? I know one of us is chuckling. It's probably due to Jay jumping in here. He said, I like good Chinese food, however, in China. It's just called food. What about if you go to Chinatown?
They don't have Chinatown. The whole place is Chinatown.
No, I mean like in a city.
I thought you meant in China. I'm like, no, it's all Chinatown.
Rush Hour again.
I've never watched Rush. Have I watched Rush Hour?
No, please tell me you have. Well, I went to Boston. They had I was just strolling around the city. That was actually a pretty clean, neat city, and they had a Chinatown, and it was you were going through, and it was just China markets all on the side.
Yeah, I don't think they have that in Indy or Cincinnati, do they?
I don't think so.
Yeah, so that would be a culture shock for us to be like, whoa, this is cool. But yeah. Well, hello, Blue Farm, new to the channel, and glad I caught you all live. Yeah, well, I'm glad you did too.
We're on a different night. We decided to just pop in. Wednesday we had little issues, and
we have country internet,
and we missed everybody. And wanted to just chat tonight.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Emma said ground meats in general aren't part of authentic Mexican food. It's more Tex-Mex. I'll eat it, but we don't eat it much.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Taco Bell's ground beef tacos probably aren't true.
Yeah.
I don't think anything Taco Bell.
Growing up, DDT had killed all our eagles, and now I see them daily. Yes, that was something we were taught a lot growing up, and they always showed
Did they cover that in FFA for you? I know 4-H they touched a little bit.
No, it was just in regular school. As a kindergarten, I remember because they always showed the eagle with the bent beak because the parents had eaten the contaminated carcass of whatever had consumed the DDT, and in the shell, they had birth defects and somehow it had survived to adulthood, but the beak was completely bent.
That's the pesticide that was caused.
Yeah.
But I remember in 4-H they had articles on it, just trying to expand on how agriculture affects the environment. And that was part of it.
Django, you wouldn't go out past the fence.
You're going to get eaten up, little bunny.
Dude, he was howling. We went. That's one of the reasons we were out checking too. I went to close everything up, and I could just hear it plain as day, across the road.
And
howling.
Something's out there because he will not.
He didn't leave me at all.
Your side.
I went to the duck pen. He sat outside the duck pen. I went to the chicken pen. He sat outside the chicken pen. Went to the goat barn. He sat outside the barn.
He's a big dog and go out constantly, but he wants you to go out with him and look around. So. Yeah. Emma said I hit an owl on the highway once because it was chomping a roadkill. I came over the hill. I'm sure I was thinking, oh, that's where.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the bird sanctuary. That's the main reason that those birds are there is car hits. My mom and dad actually hit one and took an owl there because they hit it and they're like, well, what is this? Because they didn't see what it was. It was on the road and it looked all piled up, and sure enough, it was a great horned owl.
Yeah.
And they just wrapped it up in a coat and took it, but it was just ooh.
One of the weirdest sounds at night though is the screech owl.
The screech owls they sound like a UFO.
Yeah.
It's a weird whistle.
Sound. Once you hear one,
they either sound like screaming women or they sound like a UFO.
My night vision scope though the other night. Could we tell what owl it was? I caught an owl on my night vision. I feel
like it was a barred owl.
Yeah.
We have great grays, great horns, barred owls, barn owls, screech owls.
They're bigger. They're not as big as a great horn, but they're bigger. But it was cool because you could just watch it, look around.
Yeah.
Let's see. Jay said they really should put in some eagle crosswalks. That sounds dangerous for them on the roads today.
You're ridiculous.
I could see
you know what? Maybe
the Beatles cover with
that.
4 eagles walking across.
Have you seen when they walk though? They lift up their feet real tall.
Jay, there is a little clip out there, and somebody took an eagle and was walking around a swamp area. You may have seen it. They put arms on it, but then it screams America at one point.
Yeah.
And then it pulls out machine guns and starts firing, and it's
Mark
goofy but funny.
It. Mark loves that. He made sure to show me that when he found it. Yep, that's nice.
Chad Burton. Hello, Chad. Do you understand where that
coming out of my mouth? Yeah, I remember that. I have seen it because I remember that line.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray. I'm guessing this is Rachel. How are you?
Good to see you.
Cabin on the Hill. Welcome. We just had 2 baby goats.
Wow.
One of them, the mother didn't take to it. Is there anything we could do for the baby goat? We have a baby bottle with a goat nipple. By the way, hi guys. Just no problem.
Yep.
If mama's not taken to it, get the colostrum. Milk her out a little bit. The colostrum is essential in the first 24 hours of life.
That really gets them a jump start.
100%. And if she's not maybe in milk, you can always go to a farm store and get the supplemental colostrum. It's not as good as the regular colostrum, but it'll do in a pinch.
Yeah.
And make sure that it's warm enough. Everybody makes a big mistake of trying to feed baby goats on the bottle, but if they're not at at least 101 degrees, ample is 103, don't feed them because their body doesn't digest well when it's cold or in a fever. It has to be in the right spot. So if it's cold, warm it up. If it's hot, cool it down and then feed it.
Yeah. Yeah, just keep pushing through it, though.
And
I mean, we've had
moms that didn't want them at first, but we kept bringing them out there.
They came around.
And if you can hold her to get that baby latched, sometimes it just takes them nursing for those hormones to release, because like really it is like a hormone release when the baby's nursed. It also helps them pass their placentas after birth. The nursing does.
Yeah.
So I've had mommies that didn't want it at first, but like if you keep bringing them out for feedings, eventually mommy gets it. You know, she can get it.
Yeah. Emma said, I'd love to go to Chinatown, Koreatown in Chicago. I've heard the food is delicious. Yeah, a lot of it's pretty authentic because it's actual people.
I've never been to Chicago. I think we were talking about going maybe in March. Mm-hmm. Maybe.
Jay said, what? That's blasphemy. Taco Bell is real authentic food in my friend, right, Emma? I don't think you're going to win Emma.
Walking a fine line.
I don't think you're going to win Emma over on that.
Hey, Braxton, what's up? He says, hey, y'all, I'm here 3 more weeks until kidding. Udders are filling up quick. How are y'all? We're doing good, Braxton. We're right there with you. So I gave you CDT shots on Monday to my first 2 doses. So that means I was officially 30 days away.
Yeah.
I can't handle it. Like, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Hello, so excited.
My sister Ashley, she said Chicago's Chinatown was great. That's right. You guys went to.
Yeah, you guys.
I didn't realize you visited Chinatown.
This is where the guy rapped about you guys in the subway, though, right? So what area, like as far as the Chinatown, did you guys eat anywhere, and is there any place you recommend? Just wondering. Yeah.
Brothers in the chat.
Because we were thinking maybe on spring break, possibly trying to get away. I will be right at the precipice
Chicago's
of kidding.
Not too bad where we could drive up too, and
we
honestly do a close to a weekend trip.
Yeah,
Emma said, I did make a Taco Bell like dinner the other day. American tacos with grass-fed beef and chili cheese burritos made with, was that? Guajillo. And
did I say it right? I say it right?
Ancho-based. Is it Ancho?
Ancho-based
chili. Okay, Ancho-based chili. So good. Man, that makes my mouth water just reading it.
Guys, we already had dinner too.
Honestly, does not sound anything like Taco Bell though. When I get their tacos, they don't sound like they're
You make it sound very appetizing.
Yeah, if you wrote their menu, I think their sales would go up.
Braxton says, on the poll, I really want to see milking routines. I know many people didn't vote. Hey, that's okay, because we are doing milk testing. I got all of my stuff in the mail the other day. So like all of my test tubes came, the scale came, everything came. So I will be doing probably a lot more talking about like milking, what we're doing. And also so you guys can see me fumble through my first milk test, because like I am wigged out. I'm totally wigged out. It's not hard, but I am wigged out about it. My first test, I'll be testing like the last Sunday pretty much of every month. So like Willow will be 2 or 3 weeks fresh along with Tiana. Merida will be like 1 week fresh, but I'll go over all that stuff in the video. So it'll be interesting though. So it's definitely coming. Don't worry.
Rachel said, yes, it's her, and hope you're doing well.
We are.
Yeah.
How are you?
Cabin on the Hill said, thank you so much. Yeah, no problem. Like Ashley said, stay persistent with it. You have any questions, you know where our Facebook page is. Feel free to reach out. We'll offer any help.
You'd be surprised. Sometimes mommies do take them with a lot of persistence.
We've had a couple. Like that. Yep.
Just never walk away from them too long, like unsupervised. Mm-hmm. Like while you're trying to get the baby to go back, like I just wouldn't leave the pen at all. I wouldn't just leave it to chance.
But I will also say, try to not get in the pen too much. I actually had one that like wanted to focus on cleaning her up because she had afterbirth.
She had a hard pull, and it was a first timer, and she was looking literally like the fluids off of my hands. Latching on to Ashley
more than the baby.
Yeah, and the baby was like bumping and chasing her basically in her kidding stall. But once I got out, 100% was like, no, mama, you got to do it. Like, it was fine. She figured it out. I held her like once to get him latched, just to get the colostrum in him. Yeah. And after that, she was fine. It's like it clicked. She knew what was going on.
And I said, oh, girl, if you go to Chicago, let me know. See Chinatown.
I will, because you're not that far from there, are you?
Yeah, I don't know. Isn't she more south?
She is more south, but I feel like, don't you guys have family in Chicago?
Missouri's not really that far.
Am I just making that up in my head, though? That could totally be me making it up.
We will let you know, though.
Hello, Mama Burton. Rachel, what?
We got our tickets.
HOA tickets?
Yeah, and B&B reservations.
So you guys are going. I saw Rick and Lala are going from Lala Farms, and I am just like,
yeah, Emma said she's going right.
Emma's going, then Jay's going.
Yep, he mentioned it. Man, it's going to be an awesome
bash. Excited. I'm super excited
about all that.
I don't want to get through my summer too fast, but I'm counting down for HOA.
Yep. Braxton said we gave CD&T shots on Monday. Also, I can't wait for this year. We are going to a lot more shows, and we are doing milk tests.
Oh, is this your
it's gonna be
first
a
year?
busy
Can
year,
you
but that'll
help
be
me?
so exciting.
Can I send you questions, Braxton? Be like, Braxton, help.
Yeah, Ashley wants to do more shows this year.
I do.
If our schedule can allow. With softball, though, that makes it even tougher.
Well, don't worry. Softball's not on the weekends, so there's no reason to miss shows.
Mm-hmm.
Mark's already trying to come up with like excuses
I
as
just
to why
know
not
how
to.
busy our schedule
It
gets.
does get a little psychotic.
And then on top of that, we have projects, and that's hard to squeeze in when.
But listen, guys, you would be so proud of me. I listened to my husband this 4-H. He's like, what was that look for? I did.
Just waiting to hear to make sure that's
so. At the beginning of 4-H season, because last year, like we had like 14 projects, and it was in the whole like 2 to 3 weeks leading up to fair. It was a nightmare in my house. It was so bad. It was so
procrastination
bad.
is a
real
skill
thing
that we have.
I wouldn't say
I'd say it's a good skill. I'm just saying
it's a curse that we're afflicted with.
I just want to try to speak to it in a positive way.
Thank you. But he says, I'm limiting you to like 5 walking projects because I think we had 11 walking non-walking projects.
It's hard to enjoy it. Like, honestly, we were so running around so much. We looked back, we didn't get as much pictures and stuff like that. And it's,
which became apparent when I went
a hustle and bustle where you're losing some of the value in what the projects are.
Yeah, you are.
I mean, she did well ribbon-wise. So she did the projects really well and everything.
Yeah.
But it was such chaos. It was like, after we were done, it was just like,
yeah. And she really walked away from last season too, like being very, I don't want to do this project again. And I'm learning to respect boundaries because she is getting older. So like when she says she doesn't want to do, like she really means, Mom, I don't want to do it. And I don't want to make her hate 4-H all around just because I'm like, no, I didn't get to do it. So you have to do all of it. Yeah. And I'm listening to her this year. But then he says only 5. Yep. And I did only 5. So. Yep.
Patty said, I've wondered how close the cat food Taco Bell ground beef tastes.
Oh my God.
I believe Patty's pretty close to right on that one. Because 2 cats we've had love that stuff. It would try to steal it out of our hands. So weird. Patty's onto something there. I think she's probably right. But
oh God, I love it.
Honestly, I like the chicken better from Taco Bell. But I'll eat their ground tacos, and I ain't gonna say they're the best thing in the world, but
no,
I eat them. But I could see it being close to cat food.
I'm not a fan of Taco Bell. I did find like 1 or 2 things there that I could stomach if we're there.
Yeah.
But like I normally don't like it. And they have the orange kickstart in their fountain machine.
She's
so
like,
I'm
so
like,
weird. That is weird. Jay said, no joke. Cheryl and I ate a top-notch Korean restaurant in New York City, having a great night with great food, and a gang fight broke out.
What?
Tables and chairs flying. Didn't everyone act like nothing happened? Hold on. So chaos broke out. Stuff got thrown everywhere. Then
everybody's like, all right, back to our food.
Peace
We're
out.
having a nice night.
That was fun while it lasted. We're just going back to our routine. I believe that in New York City, though. Hello, Nightfall Homestead. Good to have you.
Hey, how are you?
Paragon Ridge. Also,
Christy.
The Life with Belinda and Chuck. Man.
I know. Look at all you guys coming in here. Did you get it on film? Is what Belinda. Me too. I was kind of wondering that too. So I'm glad Belinda and Chuck asked that.
Yeah. Emma said, I'm about 6 hours from Chicago, but one of my coworkers is from the area. She knows all the good food places.
See, I like that because I am.
See, Ashley was excited thinking you wanted to tag along, Emma.
I'm crushed now.
Well, let's see. We're probably about
5.
Yeah, I think just under 5 to the outskirts.
Yeah.
Because we just go straight up through Fort Wayne.
I think 5. I don't know. I've never been there.
Or not. Up through Fort Wayne. And then
just guesstimating in my head.
Yeah.
Yes, all our rowdy friends will be in attendance.
I can't remember.
You okay?
I was trying to think which way you'd go up there.
Oh, probably around Indy on the north side, I would think.
Yeah, Rachel, rowdy friends. Yep. Yeah, we had a good time.
Yeah.
Chip and Nicole said they were also going. Yeah. I'm sure Freedom Homestead is. We had a great time with them.
Yeah, and then a Good Life Farm, Fermented Homestead.
Tom and Patty, we got to hold their
the
little
Aldermans.
dog.
Then Tootsie. I got to hold Tootsie during Patty's talk. We got to hang out with Anna from Fermented Homestead, John and Heather from Hodgepodge Homestead. Like just so many great people there. So many great people.
We should start a group chat thing on Messenger so that way we can keep in touch with everybody.
Nightfall Homestead said I listen to my husband, and that means I get a pat on the back because most of the time I'm like, Nah, buddy, nah. I'm gonna do what I want.
I think you can still sign up for projects. So we don't want to say that is concluded yet.
Well, Joe asked for a different project. I won't tell you no, but I need you to say this. I'm going to take a video of you saying this. So when someone says, I hate this, why are you making me do this? I can go back and be like, here's video proof. It was you.
Yeah.
You asked to do it.
Mm-hmm. Jay said we can't wait for HOA again.
Yeah, we're excited.
Braxton said, this is my first year, but my 4th year of shows. I have quite a bit of knowledge because I've helped my friends with milk testing. So if you need a little walkthrough, let me know.
Yes.
Ashley might take advantage of that.
Just to get bit rolling. Of a walkthrough. So. Yeah, I might need a little bit of a walkthrough. I'm a little nervous about all of it.
Let's see. Patty said, I have one walking distance from my apartment. It's just convenient. Why? Yeah.
But that's really nice. Like when you don't want to get out and like drive, but you're like, Taco Bell's like right around the corner. It's like 1 o'clock. I want something to eat. Yeah. You can go do that. Us, it's like a 20-minute drive at least to anything that's open.
But since she's not a huge fan of that and White Castle.
And those are the only things that are open.
Like she'll be like, what do you want to eat? And honestly, I'm not picky. So I'm like, wherever. And she'll be like, no, you pick. So just to get her to pick, I'll pick one of those two. And she's like, no, let's do this instead.
Because he knows.
But I don't mind.
But those are the places I don't like. It's like, what you can pick from. So why do you pick what you can't?
I'll let you pick. So I'm like, I'll pick those two and I know.
I don't want to be decisive when it comes to food.
Yeah, right. White Castle is probably about the same level as Taco Bell, I'd say, on food.
They do have good breakfast, though. Their little breakfast sandwiches are kind of good.
I love their sliders, so I could eat a case of
There's a reason they're called sliders, because they slide right out. It's awful.
But there's like something about, I remember when a teenage years, if I can talk, words are hard tonight, but like late or early in the morning, like 1 a.m., 2 a.m., like White Castle, they're open 24 hours, which helps. But that was like the place to go to get your food and like
it's the only place open.
It's cheap also. Like the burgers are like what, 79 cents?
Like a crave case, you could get like a bunch for not a lot of money.
Chip in, get a big old box of them. Yeah. But now, honestly, I like their coffee. Their coffee is actually well known for being good coffee. So I need one closer.
So Emma says, we're talking about leaving for HOA earlier, like Wednesday, crashing that night about halfway and then rolling into Front Royal. I think that would be, especially if you're going to do workshops, because I don't think I'd want to, you'd almost have to drive like right through the night to get there on time for workshops.
Yeah, I don't know how you did it, driving that long way all in one trip. I'd have been taking a day to recover, but you're a trooper. But like Chip and Nicole did like DC the day before or something, and that's something we've considered as well.
They flew in and then did DC, and I was like, that's a great idea. We were thinking about taking Joe this year. Now, obviously, it's up to her, but then when I start seeing like all these people that are coming, I'm like, Joe don't need to come, so we can all hang out, wait, not worry about the kids.
Yeah, totally up to her though. Honestly, though, I think she'd like pork chop. I think he was good with the kids. We sat
pork rind,
or
pork chop.
I don't worry about pork chop, but he was really good with the kids. We were eating lunch nearby and watching him.
He was talking about servantship, like being a servant to your community.
Joe
and like
listen to that. For the farm at least. Although her gym teacher came up tonight.
Yes,
and gave her a very good compliment.
Like,
we were at dinner, and her gym teacher was actually at the same restaurant. And Joe noticed her and was like, "That's my gym teacher, whatever." And she came up later, and I guess her gym teacher, to summarize the story real quick, had a rough day, was crying at work. So
sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes things hit while you're at work.
Josie noticed and was worried about it, so she sent her an email basically saying, "I know it's not my business. Don't need to know why. Just wanted to let you know. I saw you, and I just want to make sure you're okay, and you have a good day." And that's all it was. Yeah. And we told her that we commended her for that.
Well, she's like, "Well, why? Like, it's not my business, but I do care." And I'm like, "Yeah, but sometimes people don't think anybody sees their suffering, and that can make it worse when you feel like nobody sees your suffering." I'm like, so sometimes it's good to acknowledge it and be like, "I know it's not my business. You don't have to talk about it, but I care, and I'll make sure you're okay." Mm-hmm. So that for me, I was like, "Okay, thanks for telling me."
Yeah, we were proud of her for that. Definitely a proud parent moment. Rachel said, "I agree, Mark, on a group chat is a great idea." Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
thank you,
100%.
Rachel. Okay. Honestly, though, Rachel would probably be the one because she's good with communication.
Yes, she is. 100%.
911 dispatcher.
Yeah.
So she would know.
So Chrissy, I want to ask you, how is your feed store doing? Anybody doesn't know, Chrissy and her husband opened up a feed store. I'm super inspired. I know. I know, but it was so cool because it's just something we've been talking a lot about, being entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship and how to get more bang for your buck off your homestead, which we all know that's a struggle. But I saw Chrissy open up this store out of this old hoarding situation. I just thought it was the coolest thing. So I wanted to, if she's still in here, just want to see how everything's doing.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, she did say is going so well. We are learning so much. That's awesome.
I think it's just the coolest thing to do. So I really admire you. That's been very inspiring for me. So keep up the good work, lady.
Emma said, not sure if we'll make any workshops, but it'd be nice to be there early and get settled in. The 14-hour drive is surprisingly not that bad, but 7 hours is definitely better.
Yeah, I bet.
I agree.
I bet. And you had good company too.
Mm-hmm.
Isa was probably really good company for you.
Oh yeah, that makes it better when you have someone in the car with you.
Poor Mark, I was on my iPad doodling.
Yeah.
So I was terrible company.
Yeah.
We listen to some interesting podcasts though, so that's always nice to find cool podcasts and listen on the way down there.
Jay said we're hoping to get a bunch of people to meet up for a BYO lunch at HOA.
Yeah.
No way. I'm waiting in those lines again.
100%.
I don't know if you heard Ashley say it before, but we waited in line for a while on one of them, and they apparently didn't get her order.
They didn't get my order.
And she put it in, and
it was one of those moments. It was very
that was one of those moments because she was all off attending a workshop or whatever she wanted to see. So I was waiting on the food, and I'm like, are you serious? They didn't, and she showed me a ticket.
No, it was vice versa.
What?
I was in line, and you were at Joel Salatin or Houston.
No, I'm saying when I picked up the food.
Oh yeah. I thought you meant your line. No, you weren't.
No, they showed me. I'm saying they showed me a ticket. She didn't put in an order. I'm like,
she did.
I cringed. I'm like, I have to go back and tell her she is starving at this point.
Yeah.
That I do not have food. I am not bringing you food.
Yeah.
I've only got mine.
I was already hangry.
She did not what I wanted. I
didn't want what he wanted. I was nah, I'm good. I don't want that at all. Yeah. So I went to the very last thing that was open. I'm like, what do you still have? And they're like, we have fries. I'm like, I would like fries. Yeah.
Then we ate Cracker Barrel, which was the best Cracker Barrel ever because we were starving. Patty said, to know someone sees you is so important.
It is.
Especially nowadays. I mean, just honestly, Liberty Mutual where we work is good with a lot of workshops on well-being, and I mean these past 2 years have been brutal.
It has been really brutal.
A lot of people emotionally are just in a stretch then.
Mm-hmm. So and actually, when we had, I know, and I'm sorry if I bother anybody this, but I know our church service on Sunday, that was a common theme that just kept coming up. So when we were up doing our worship and our singing. A lot of songs that we were choosing to sing were about going through the storm, and I was I don't know if anybody's caught on to this theme, but we go through storms and sometimes we feel like nobody sees that our vessel is sinking. And we're like, why is nobody trying to help me? Or why is nobody becoming my lifeboat or my life jacket? And it is not reassuring when you feel like nobody sees that you are struggling. And sometimes people are with that whole first part of Joe's sentence, I know it's not my business.
Yeah.
Because some people are very protective about their private business.
I'll be honest, we're that type. We don't
I don't want someone to ask me what's going on.
Our struggles and stuff, we just try to handle them ourselves and do the best we can.
So, but that's just me. It's reassuring for somebody I know you're struggling, and I want you to know I'm thinking about you and I'm praying for you, and we want you to be okay. But we aren't ones to openly talk about things that are happening with us. But that was something that came up a lot.
Seeing us, raising a child that's a good person, at least has a good heart at this age.
Yeah,
it's huge. I mean, that was a big win for us.
So. Well, and for a child to approach an adult that's a teacher, like me, and back in the day, I would never have approached one of my teachers. If I saw them crying, I'd have been like, oh boy, something bad's happening, But she took it on. She took the next step and was like, no, I want her to know I care and I see her.
That was awesome.
You're such a better person than I am.
Emma said, I'd love to do a Zoom chat with some folks once a week just to check in, see how everyone is doing in real time.
I think that would be a really good idea. I think it would be a really good idea.
I mean, that's honestly why we're on here tonight. We want to we missed everybody. And
I told Mark it felt weird Wednesday after we got off. I was just I was depressed. I'm like, I really want to talk to everybody. Didn't get to talk to everybody.
Let's see. Jay said on day 2 we ordered lunch meat and rolls and snacks at the local Walmart and came prepared. We did the same thing. Remember,
yes,
we went out
we did.
that night.
And we were like,
Probably
we're not
the
doing
same
this
Walmart.
again.
It's like nearby. But yeah, we were like, we need some stuff to keep handy, and I threw them in my backpack.
Yeah,
Had them there. I will say though, HOA was great on getting things.
they did. They took a
Fixed
lot of
by-
like the issues
Even
the
by
first
the
day and fixed
afternoon,
them.
like
Yes.
the porta potties,
Yeah.
which as anybody that was there knew that was a huge line. They quickly turned that around.
It was a huge line. I'm gonna go back up for a second.
Oh, did you see something?
Yeah, I just wanted to. Yeah, sorry.
Okay.
Nothing. It's nothing. So Emma says, I'm planning on bringing all the fixing for tortas. Mexican subs. Emma.
Yeah, we'll
that sounds amazing.
bring money so we can pay for some of the. Oh, I'm kidding. But that sounds good.
Yeah.
I would pay for tortas. Yes, for sure. Especially with Emma.
And Jay says, I just hope the security is a little better this year at HOA. I couldn't go anywhere with all the paparazzi. Sheesh.
We saw you from a distance.
We did.
And we're like, no, these guys are
place.
too cool. We're not going up there with the cool cats. But you
Yeah.
always had people around you, so.
Yeah, like all like the well-known people, like people were walking up to him like, I wish I had cojones big enough to go do that, but I don't. Like I'm just gonna
Actually
be
saw
like that
Jake
person.
from my house was. I
Yeah.
was like, well,
I
was
felt
like, go
bad,
talk to
though,
him. He might not mind it.
But I felt bad because like I love all his videos, but his beekeeping stuff just makes me
Yeah.
cringe. And I had just gotten done that
Mhm.
live talking about how I didn't like his
Yeah.
beekeeping stuff. And then he was there. I'm like, it feels wrong to go up and be like, hey, I'm a fan,
Mhm.
but I hate your beekeeping stuff.
Yeah.
Like I can't watch it. It drives me nuts.
Let's see. Peregrine Ridge said I need to go. So glad I got to see you all. Love you
It
all.
was good to see
Yes,
you
it was
too.
awesome.
Thanks for stopping
And
in.
continued luck on your shop, feed store.
Yeah. Excited to see how that goes for you guys.
Rachel said, you're so right, Ashley. I try my best to reach out routinely to others just as a check-in. It's important to me when others do it for me, so return their kindness. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
World needs more of that. I mean,
They do, because I feel like that's why, honestly, I see so many people like reaching out on social and just being like crazy out there. And I'm like, I wonder if you're like that, like in real life though. Like probably the people that I know I'm like that in real life. Like here, I'm talking to a screen. I'm talking to my own reflection. The screen's playing back what I look like right now. And I'm talking to that. And I'm not afraid to talk to that.
Yeah.
But when I'm out in public, we kind of reverse a lot. So like in our videos, Mark's kind of in the background. And when I want him to come in, like I go to him and he gives me his one-liner. It makes it so much better. And I move on with what I'm doing. And I'm more like in the forefront of the videos. But like in real life, like he usually will take the forefront and I will back completely off. Unless I know you and I feel very, very comfortable. But like if we were to walk up to strangers, this is the guy that's going to talk and I'm going to be in the back acting like a total snob. Like I don't want to
make a new friend. Why not?
I'll just go through you. I'll let you do the hard work and be like, I'm his wife. It's nice to meet you.
Yeah. Emma said, haha, I totally went over to Jake and Becky. They're only a couple hours from me, so I wanted to introduce myself.
That's really cool,
Oh, yeah.
though. I'm
There's
glad
nothing
you
wrong with
could
that.
do that
I mean,
because I was like,
I'll
nope.
be honest, they seemed very approachable. Every time I
Yeah.
walked by, there was always a group around and talking to them. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
I believe they're down to earth. But we are the type of people that get a little like hesitant and
Yeah.
shy when we're around
Yeah,
people
because
we
one of
know
the things
and
I'm like,
sort
I
of
get this
admire,
all the time.
honestly.
This has got to be like the most annoying thing. But I mean, sometimes that's the thing that keeps you going. Like on a bad day, you get like that one comment where someone's like, this video really helped me, or I love the way that you're looking at things, or the way that you're communicating, or your attitude. That's when I'm like, okay, I can keep doing this,
Yeah.
you know? So you never know. Even like for the big guys, I mean, they need stuff like that too. Like when they're having a crappy day, when someone's talked bad on their beekeeping videos, I don't leave any mean comments anywhere because I don't ever want someone to trace back to my channel. But I just have never been the one to do that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what if that's a day where that's all anybody's done is given him like crappy comments on like beekeeping? I'm like, I don't, you know, sometimes they need that. So
Patty said, I'm overtly friendly unless I'm stuck in a room full of people without something to do, like pour coffee. That's when I freeze up. So awkward.
Yeah.
I'm similar to that.
Yeah.
When there's a large group of people, you'll actually notice I'll be the one like standing back out. And
Yeah.
Ashley actually mingles with a large group.
Large groups.
Where
Intimate 101s, I'm not really
I'm
good
more
with.
like a smaller group, or like Ashley said, more one-on-one. I'll chat with people. But
Yeah.
it's a large group, I'll sort of settle back and
Mhm.
be quiet. I can get rowdy if somebody pulls me into it sometimes, but for the most part, It's fairly quiet. But I totally understand where you're going, Patty. It's like it feels weird though because you're used to being friendly and stuff, but then it's a group and you're feeling like you're back in. Like, why? What's the difference?
Yeah.
Totally know where you're
And when
from.
he says like he's the life, like seriously, Mark goes places, and if it's a small group, like he is the life of the party. No. It's ridiculous. You say the most outlandish things. Or share the most embarrassing stories. Yeah, where I'm like, why are you telling these people about that?
Easily. And I don't mind using myself as a
target
example. Yeah. Of goofiness. Yeah.
So right. Then Emma said, "You are such a snob, Ashley." I know, I am.
She's a good snob. It's part of being like just a part of her and others just.
I actually did have a comment like that today where I'm like, I'm going to passive aggressively tell you you're wrong. Because you're not going to come on my video and tell me that's wrong because it's not.
Rachel said, well, you can hang with me and chat my head off or sit quietly. Either way is good for me. I like those kind of conversations because, I mean, I'm that way. Like, I don't mind just standing next. Like, I don't have to be interacting,
Yeah, sometimes it's nice just to be able to be in the presence of somebody and just chilling. Like,
I like being that way in church. Like, I'll hang out with people. I enjoy people that can just enjoy being, like Ashley said, in the presence.
Yeah, just being in their presence. A lot of people just don't appreciate being in the presence. I think people appreciate it more nowadays after everything we've gone through, like with this stupid cruddy crud that's been going around. Like you do enjoy just being in the presence of other people, but I think people need to understand that more.
Jay said, Cheryl was excited to meet Wild Wonderful off grid. I got them laughing so hard. I was just busting Josh's chops about his height. I told him he looked like much taller in person as I towered over him. That is funny.
That's great. You see, like, Jay, you have that ability. I'm just like, hi, I kind of like love your stuff, and I'm going to be that weird, awkward person.
It takes a while to warm up to.
Yeah.
And then, like, once she gets to know them, they're sort of like, where did this person come from? You're sort of
I get that a lot at work.
Crazy, yeah.
Like with my work teams, like I start out real just like I'm gonna be real quiet. I'm just gonna observe, and then like about 8 to 9 months in, like I will say whatever's on my mind. They're like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Like I'm comfortable with you now. This is what you get. I hope you're okay with that.
And Jay, you have complete authority to make jokes about my height. I do all the time too. I ain't super short.
No, you're like 5'8". We're both 5'8", so
I think Jay is much taller. I've seen him walk around. I think his beard is much taller than mine. It's got a big beard. Patty said, I think it's not knowing how to approach groups of people already talking. On the flip side, put me on stage with a mic. I have almost no fear. Wow.
Really?
That's impressive.
Really?
Because I don't have that
no,
ability.
I don't.
I speak at church a little bit with the prayer request. She does this, but I don't. Yeah, I don't do well up on a stage with a mic. Honestly, I need that interaction back and forth. That's amazing, though. Like in a group of people, like you said, already talking. It's
Yeah, I feel that now, like being part of like the singing team. Like when someone's like, "I want you to sing this," I'm like, "Are you guys singing with me?" And they're like, "No, you do it great." I'm like, "Okay, I'm trying to do this and not have everything like warble and crack while I'm trying to do this." So, hello, Audra, how are you?
Hello,
good to see you. Rachel says, well, I'm outgoing. Don't meet strangers. Some people don't care for that, but I'm from the South. We are all friendly, and I am okay with that,
We
Rachel.
are too. We're totally on
Sometimes the more like people come, you're probably a lot like us though. Like I'll feed off someone else's energy. So like if you come up and you're really excited to talk to me, like I'm probably going to mirror it back.
Rachel said, I should say it better being from the South. We tend to be more talkative and don't meet a stranger type person.
Yeah.
So that's a good thing.
There's nothing wrong with that.
I feel sort of what good. I've got, like Ashley said, I don't mind kicking up just general conversation with anybody. Like in the food line, I was just chatting with different people. But in the bigger groups, I do stuff.
Or like at the guy at Micro Center when we bought our 3D printer. Like he was like, so you guys can use this for? I'm like, I don't know. I think we're just going to like play around with it. And he's like, well, you know, the options are endless. We're like, really? And he's like, yeah, you know Kirby? I made Kirby once in high school with human legs.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Just because Kirby is not meant to have human legs. So like that just immediately went to my head. But it was kind of funny because like when someone starts to mirror like a personality, like you kind of bounce it back and forth. And that was, he can do that really, really well. I try.
Jay said, I'll talk to anyone and don't mind making a fool of myself for everyone's entertainment. See, I love being around people like that. That's when you
that's
get
when there's never dull
some
moment,
good belly
though.
laughs.
Yeah.
People won't get offended or hurt by it, And I found, if I make an example of myself, then I'm the only one that pretty much can get hurt. I don't mind it. So that's awesome. Patty said, I get a little nervous but not scared. I'm best without notes too. Cannot do an outline, that kills me. Really?
Is it because you feel like you have to commit to the outline? Yeah. I can kind of relate with this.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I need the outline, but it does restrict
I need that structure. So as far as like getting up and talking, how do you sort of approach it? Do you sort of start with like a general introduction? Do you like to like talk about yourself a little bit? Or I'm just interested because that's cool to me that you're able to get up there, not have any fear, and just do it without notes. Because honestly, I need that structure. I did a couple of Bible studies, had all the notes timed out and everything.
Yeah.
And I give myself some free time, but that it always impresses me. People that can just talk off the cuff like that. That's so cool.
Yeah. That's a good skill to have.
I think that's like an amazing trait in stand-up comics.
Yeah.
How they can just.
Patty, are you secretly? Do you go by like a different name?
Do
you have a stage name,
Patty? She was taking me pretty good with the Taco Bell.
I know. Okay. Patty's out there killing like comedy nightclubs, like under an alias that none of us know about. I could totally see you doing that, Patty.
Yeah.
And Andra says, my dad says I'm the island of misfit toys because I collect people wherever I go. That's not a bad thing, though. Yeah. Like, it's not.
That is so
I
funny.
get weirdos sometimes, but like Joe, when she was little, man, she would wait till we'd be like in the grocery store, and she would wait for like the shiftiest looking people where it's like bathrobe, probably got 50 cats under the bathrobe, like in the grocery store, and she would reach out and she'd be like, hi, and she would touch him, and I'd be like veering the cart away like, no, we're going this way. But like Joe collects the misfit. She did when she was little. She collected the misfit toys for me because she was so like, hello, hi. Like, shh, stop it.
I must say, I love that we met for the first time in real life, but it felt like we've been friends forever. Yeah, totally.
I totally felt that too.
Yeah.
It helps that we had wonderful burgers to help that along. I cannot wait for this. I'm looking forward to Spelunkers again. What can I say?
It is nice though, especially when we went to like a new place like HOA. But just having somebody there you knew, and like Emma said, like a close friend, it was just nice to hang out with somebody.
100%. And then Tammy says, I'll talk to anyone once. I like that. Yeah. Sometimes that's all it takes is once to figure out if you're gonna mesh or you're not gonna mesh.
That sounds really similar to the mushroom forms, like Ashley said, where they're like, can you eat this? And they're like, anyone can eat it once.
But they hate that on the mushroom forms. They're like, do not say that. They're like, do not say that. Yeah. Someone will think that you're actually saying you can't eat it. Like, you can't assume everyone is super smart. I'm like, oh, that's wounding. But they're kind of right.
Jay said, with my background from being an officer to being a pastor, I'm kind of all over the place and can talk to anyone. Meanwhile, you'll find Cheryl hiding in the corner. Isn't that funny, the different personalities? Yeah. I mean, me and Ashley sort of have that where we fill in different
social. It depends too, because like it kind of it's reading the room, like as to what kind of people are in there. Like if it's a bunch of weird hippies, I'm like, yeah, buddy, what's going on? I want to know all the weirdness. What kind of freak flag are you flying?
The pop-up chatter, I think I do a little bit better in. But like when we were at HOA and then went to Cracker Barrel, like she was the one talking to a lot of the people there and stuff. I was sort of sitting back enjoying the conversations.
That worked out
the different environments.
You and Chip were talking a lot though.
Yeah, true.
That helped. Chip and Nicole were just wonderful people.
Yeah.
I'm so excited for HOA right now.
Yeah, I could see Jay definitely being comfortable in social situations, especially with that background from an officer to a pastor.
Well, that's cool because like you get people like in those spaces together. And they start telling like, this is where, what I've done in my lifetime. And here are all my different experiences. You're just like, wow, Yeah. And it helps you understand that person more as a whole.
Definitely.
When you're actually talking to them, like, well, no wonder you can kind of just move and like read the room and read the situation and know when to switch gears. Because sometimes I don't. And I will bulldoze someone at the ground with my person. I'll be like, they don't like me, do they? Mark's like, they don't. They're not feeling that. I'm like, okay.
Trying to be honest. Patty said, ha ha ha, I'm not telling. Patty, let us know.
If you're ever in the Hoosier State doing stand-up comedy at a nightclub, you let us know. We'll come support you. Rachel says you guys have a great night. Good to chat with everyone. Be safe and
so
talk
good
soon.
to have you, Rachel.
It was so good to see you.
Patty said, Marky, in response to your question, depends on what I'm doing. I'm a teaching topic. I do an intro with some personal experience stuff tossed in there and go from there.
Mm-hmm.
If I have notes, I get lost in things. I can see that. Yeah. Especially, like, I think Ashley made a good point where people have that ability to just talk on an open without notes and stuff. Mm-hmm. She said notes feel restrictive.
They
where
do.
I use it as like a crutch.
Yeah. Well, but crutches can sometimes be good or not good.
Exactly,
you know,
yeah.
When I was doing Scrimshaw classes, I made sure that I memorized the key points of information, and then I would present them however the class felt. So that's probably why, like, if I get in a room full of hippies, I'm like, hey, because like I kind of wait to see how it feels. I'm like, they feel like they're real, like, we want to get straight to the point, we want the facts, and we want to get practice in. It's easier to have all of it stored up here so that you can deliver it in a way that's most effective for your audience. And I think that's what makes really good speakers. But that's just me, you know. I feel, especially being up and doing testimonies at the end of church, like, you can kind of read the room. If it's been a long church service, being one-on-one testimonies, I don't need to throw in my 2 cents that weekend now. But if there's lots of people that are talking and you can tell specific testimonies are like bouncing and pinging off people where it's like, I feel the same way, or something like that happened to me this week. That's when, you know, you kind of read the room when it's appropriate, when it's not appropriate. So I can really appreciate that.
Yeah. Emma said, can't believe I didn't get to meet Chip and Nicole.
I know.
Yeah. Make sure
they
you seek them out.
They were moving around a lot, though.
Yeah. Make sure you seek them out this year. They're awesome people.
Yeah. I mean, we hung with them a lot Saturday afternoon and that evening. And then Sunday, I didn't hardly see them. Like, we saw them right at the Fit Farmers.
Chips and our guys. Got a good sense of humor. He
was so funny, though, because, like, Sunday morning, we go to the Fit Farmers tent, and he's like, Mark!
Yeah.
I was like, Mark, there's your bromance, man.
And there's Chips like, hey. But I could go laughing the day before when they were talking about possibly doing something they go out to eat or whatever. And Ashley's always hesitant to push people into things.
I feel like people don't want to be around us, so I don't try to push them.
Like, oh yeah, if you want to do something, let's do it. It's just like
very direct.
Well, what do you say? Like,
no, I was talking to Nicole, and I was like, well, if you guys want to do anything, let us know. He's like, well, do you want to do something? Yeah. I'm like, yes, I do.
But it worked out because then we got on the plane.
I don't know a lot of people, and I want to. You know, if you guys know other people, like...
Because I'll walk away and I'm like, Ashley, are we doing something? She's like, I don't know. Like when she does that. So it was nice because Chip's like, let's just take care of this.
You can't leave me in control or nothing's going to get done. Luckily, Chip took the reins. Is like, do you guys want to do something? He saw me because I was really taken aback. When people are very direct, I don't know how to react because I'm like, is this being like overly aggressive or are you just like, hey, let's do something? So I'm like, yes, I do. You know, like deer in the headlights, like, whoa. It cracked me up.
Jay said Cheryl has to tap me on the leg and reel me in sometimes. I get lost in conversation and typically love to talk too much sometimes.
That's okay.
I have to reel Ashley in on the videos. That's where sometimes she gets
He has to reel me in on lives. Yeah. Like, honestly,
I'll try to tap her on the back here with this other arm. Like, hey, well, you want to catch up on some comments here? But, yeah, like, that's where another big difference between us is, like, for videos and stuff, she can talk. And,
I can talk and
explain things and do a good job remembering facts. My problem is, like, on the fly. I don't remember, like, key pieces. So I'm, like, trying to piece together something.
For him to do a video, I have to let him prepare.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I'm going to film you do this. I want you to talk about it while you are doing it. Think about it now before I start filming, because it really sucks to cut out ums. You know, I don't cut out ums as much as I probably should. But it's just kind of funny because I struggle with giving too much and then going through and splicing the crap out of it to find what's relevant and what someone actually want to listen to. Mm-hmm. And then he's like super minimal, like on the cuff, like he's not good like that.
Yeah.
But it's not a bad thing, you know. It just makes when he's actually on camera doing something, like his is a lot more thoughtful and thought through, where I'm just like rambling incoherently about goats most of the time.
Jay said I was going to have Justin Rhodes sign my chest. I felt perhaps so. I think that was crossed.
You should have done it and then got it tattooed. Be like, well, not really tattooed, not unless you wanted to. But I would have been like, sweet. Now I'm gonna go get it tattooed, and I would have just seen what he would do.
Oh man. I guarantee
Please do that.
Justin Rhodes would have never forgot you after that.
He probably wouldn't have.
You would have probably been.
You'd have made it into his video.
Yeah.
You'd be like, this guy's going to get my name tattooed on his chest.
You would have a workshop the next year of how to get the attention of your favorite YouTubers. That would have definitely been the topic.
Oh my gosh.
Emma said cutting out ums and uhs sucks. Yeah, Ashley will go through it.
So awful.
Yeah. And then it cracks me up because we'll be sitting there watching TV and she'll be trying to edit it. So the same clip will replay like 6 times in about 30 seconds. It's like
I look over at him and he's like,
yeah.
Like you can, because I'll be like, and then or like I'll say something and I knew that I'd said it wrong, so I'll say the right thing, but I don't stop recording and go. I will be in the middle of my film and be like, Ashley, right here, cut it. And then I'll keep going. And I have to actually watch it. But then if I don't do that, I'm cutting it right here. Like I'll find it and I have to splice down to like where I'm getting that word perfectly, which sometimes means splitting and then trimming or cut. And he's like, you need to put in your headphones. Because it will be like the same phrase over and over until I get it just right. Yeah. I know I've got a lot of creators in here, so I'm sure your spouses can probably, maybe, I don't know. Do you guys, do you suffer from this affliction like I do? Because I suffer hard.
Patty said, you guys have a good balance between each of you and you are both easy to listen to. Oh, well, thank you, Patty. Don't know if we have the ability to talk easily as you do on a mic, but I appreciate that.
He needs notes and I don't.
Yeah. Like I said, I respect people. I can do that.
I don't.
Jay said HOA was worth the drive just to meet Emma. Yeah, she's a superstar.
Emma is awesome.
So
like Emma is the bee's knees, 100%. Yeah. We love Emma. I can't wait to hang out with you guys this year.
Oh, speaking of bee's knees, the Beehive one was that guy was cool. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Jarrett.
From
Beehive Homestead. They're lovely people. Lovely people to talk to. Like him and his wife are just lovely individuals. Their child was like the most well-behaved child I've ever. Their children.
They were in a Fit Farmer one.
Their kids were just immaculate the entire time. And I was like, your kids are so well-behaved and they're beautiful and they're gorgeous and they're sweet and I just love them. I was maybe missing my kid while I was there because I'm like, your kids are awesome. Emma says, would you even be able to see the autograph underneath the beard though?
Just flip it up.
Yeah. Then it could be like a
so a flasher Ashley said thing. The other night, she said it was like looking at something that shouldn't be seen when she looked at underneath my beard. I was messing with my beard.
It was weird. I just realized like
an
you
area
have
of the body that shouldn't be exposed. Like
I couldn't stop looking at it because I'm like, I feel like I'm looking at something I shouldn't be seeing.
Now Jay, his cover's to his belly button, so you'd have like entire napkin.
But it was, I was looking for the side. What? I'm like, sometimes I forget that you have like, I have a double chin, but sometimes I forget that like it goes down right there. I'm like, I just never see it. I just like his face is shaped like
I'd have to lift my beard out Justin's way so he could sign my chest. Yeah, I've got a space right for you right here. Patty said, my one and only live was a little awkward for me being the only one on camera and having to engage everyone by myself. There were moments. I'll just say that.
Yeah, I can understand that. I've only done one. Has there only been one?
Yeah,
I've only done one live by myself. And the only reason I could get through it is I was painting.
Have I ever done a video?
Not one by yourself. No, I want you to, but I think I don't want to push you either. So I'm waiting for you to come to me with something you feel passionately about.
Yeah, that is tough. Being by yourself and not having that interaction.
The one time I did it on the live, though, I went for like 3 hours because I was painting, and that was the only reason I could keep going. Because like I was actively doing something else.
Some good friends on there that
I had really good friends. Like Emma. Like Emma hung with me as long as she could until she had her live about carving. Was it a butter knife? Is that what you were doing, or a butter? What kind of a knife were you making? I can't remember now. But you were doing a woodworking project, and you were doing your whittling and stuff. And I thought that was awesome.
She hasn't done one of those videos in a while.
I know, Emma. We need to do more of those videos.
I need them on my wild work days because it's nice and calming.
Yeah, it is calming.
Even though I don't get to talk much because I'm working, but I'd like to listen to it though.
Yeah, I just got a painting I need to do for beehives. Maybe I'll do a live on painting a beehive.
Emma said, I edit with headphones on all the time, but it annoys me because Matt or the girls walk in talking to me. I get irritated that I can't hear them, but I have big white headphones on. How do you miss those? Yeah.
I just, yeah. Speaking of headphones, I'm going to tell you this wonderful story that happened last week. So last week we were getting ready to go to our niece's basketball game, and I told Joe, like, hey, you need to start getting ready. So I came in from feeding, and I walk in, and Mark is outside her door, like, banging on the door, and he's like, Joe, Josie, Joe. Joe has this terrible habit of putting both of her AirPods in for her and locking the door.
Yeah.
Which we've talked to her about. And like, your door should never be locked unless you are getting dressed. In which case, like, all you have to do is close the door. I always knock anyways. I don't know why you think I'm trying to
deliver her dinner. So, I mean.
Were you trying to deliver her food? Is that. Dang, you don't deliver me food in the bed? Jesus. Well, I'm really upset. Well, she's in her bedroom. Whatever. But it was funny
like, hey, I'm bringing you food. Open the door.
I walked in. I'm like, I bet you $100 that she has both of her AirPods in, and she cannot hear you at all.
It scared me too.
But that's what I told her. I'm like, he wasn't trying to be mean or we were like scared. We thought maybe you'd like passed out or something bad had happened, and you were locked in your room and you weren't responding. Mm-hmm. But yeah, so we kind of understand that, but it was more of like, what the heck are you doing?
Jay said, I didn't realize Justin's kids were as old as they are.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing.
Yeah, he's got so many of them.
I'll be honest, I don't watch a lot of Justin Rose. I know you.
I listen. I don't watch. I listen when I'm in milking routines because he has just a really calm, like even way of talking. Him and Jess from Roots and Refuge are perfect for milking routines because they're not like loud or rambunctious. My goats don't like Arms Family Homestead. I know that is really weird, but if like I'm listening to Arms Family Homestead, like while I'm milking, like, cause I'll just turn it on my phone and let it play open air. They don't like it. Like they get mad. They move around. If it's Justin or Jess, they are like calm goats on the milk stand. So there's something real soothing about their voices. So like I listen to them a lot when I'm milking.
Yeah, Emma said, I guess I'm used to mostly doing things.
Yeah.
Mostly by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jay said, I grow my beard so no one ever has to see my face underneath. No one should ever be put through that.
It's weird, though, because, like, when he did, and it's been few and far between here for a while, where men that have beards shave, you all look like little aliens afterwards. Not that I don't love you for your alien self when you shave your beard, but it is like a whole different person.
A little bit of a baby face.
He does, and it's like very off. It's not awful. I won't say it's not. It's
Thanks.
Yeah. It's shocking.
Jay, apparently nobody should be put through that awfulness.
When you get used to just like a face mane, like it's shocking when it's not there. You're like, oh my God, like you have a chin and your neck connects and everything. And it's like, I don't know. It's just weird. It's not awful. It's weird. I'm sorry. I love you.
Patty agrees. She said she wants more videos like that one, Emma. Yep.
Yes. It was awesome. I loved it. Blue Farm says, I'm still here. I've been lurking, driving to pick up my husband from work. He's driving home, so I can chat now.
Oh,
I lurk a lot too, Blue. Don't worry. I lurk a lot.
Yeah. Especially I actually don't mind jumping in, either if she has something to really mention or if like the chat's sort of quiet. She's like, hey,
I like to throw softballs if I can.
Yeah, but if like people are really rolling along, we don't mind just sitting and listening in. I know Darren's chat was that way last time. His was rolling.
But I'm also like, I have a terrible complex about thinking people don't care what I have to say. So, which is stupid because like I have a YouTube channel. So like if I really thought people didn't, I wouldn't even do that. There are people who do care what people have to say. But when it comes to like live chats, I'm like, people don't care what I have to say in here. So like, I'm like, I will save them the hassle of having to read my comment. I will just lurk. So I get it.
Emma said, we'll be doing more lives like that soon. We're extending our internet out to the shop, so we'll be able to do live demos there, both woodworking and blacksmithing.
That's amazing.
That's incredible. And is that because it's Tesla
is it because you got your Starlink?
Can it go out there? Because if so, then we need to move ourselves out to our barn so we could do the kidding stuff.
I do want to do the kidding stuff.
That'd be cool. Could do like live
camera
live
in there.
Kid watch and just have like when the kids hit the ground, people would be like, hey, congrats, and you'd still be sleeping. Like, also, you see you rushing on your pajamas to go like,
oh. Which Mark did catch me on our new. So we put a new Ring camera, not a new one. We had our extra outside Ring camera facing the backyard because of all of our predator issues lately, and he caught me running the bucks to the. He's like,
gives her more footage for the videos because it's hilarious. Because she forgets it's there and is like,
I do, and he's like, you will not believe what I caught on
it's like
film.
our whole backyard in a chicken coop, so it's sort of nice to.
Yeah, I come in. He's like, there was a crazy thing in the backyard a minute ago, and then it'll show me running across with goats chasing after me because I'm taking them back to their pen in the morning. It's just better if I run. They get excited and they're like, "Where's she going? We need to follow her," and they follow me better if I run.
Jay said, I believe Justin's oldest son's 14.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. Wow. They do look young, though, to me. Like, even for their ages. How many does he have?
He has quite a few, don't he? Because I was going to say, he had some young ones he was walking around there, too, I thought.
3, 4. I think he has 5.
Jay said, I love you for your alien self, representing Area 51.
Son Emma said, alien self. Patty said, Ben shaved off his mustache once, and I said, never again, please. Yeah. It's weird.
It's weird how much it depicts your face. Like, once you remove it, it's a total different.
It's a sign of like, I'm not trying to sound super weird when I say this.
Admit like that. I think a beard affects your face a lot more than your haircut.
It does.
Like when I shave my head,
it does.
Not as many people are like, wow, but when I grow my beard, like a bunch of people are like, hey,
I think it does. But like, and like I said, I don't mean to be weird, but it's like such a sign of, for me, beards are such a sign of masculinity. Like when you don't have your beard, I'm like, what? You look like a child. Stop it. Like I mean it in the most loving way. You look much better with a beard than you do without it.
Good thing to say that.
I would still love you if it wasn't.
I have the same complex.
I'm glad I'm not alone.
What people want to
I'm glad I'm not alone.
Say.
And I still end up with like 15-minute vlog videos where I'm like, what the heck, Ashley? Yeah. Cut it out.
Emma said Matt's going to do a video on how we're extending the signal out to the shop so we can do more out there.
That's exciting.
That sounds like the video we need.
We will need that.
Sounds perfect.
Need that. I just wish I could actually talk when the camera is on. No. Yeah. I know.
Ashley has those moments. She runs into those blocks where she just struggles with.
I do.
Trying to get through, like.
I do.
Or the supreme frustration, though, is she'll do like a clip that she's really happy with, felt good about. For some reason, the camera didn't record it or whatever.
Or the audio.
She did a finishing the other day for the garden. I think it's been a couple months now.
It has, but and the whole audio was so gone frustrated from like all the ending. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I cannot get. And it's weird because like as creators, you guys get it too because you're like, it was golden hour and I was on and my hair looked great and everything flowed. Yeah. And then you go out there to try to shoot it again. It's like my hair looks like crap. There's no I can't say it again and mean it the same way I did. So it's been. Dog, you're distracting the crap out of me. He's
Jay said, would you love Ashley's alien self if she shaved her mustache? Oh
boy, Jay, how dare you?
The secret's out.
Do you like it?
No. You don't have any feelers out there.
But like I do admire mustaches that you can curl.
Yeah. Mine,
like the.
Jay, I don't know if you have this issue, but my mustache, and she makes fun of me for it. Mine happens to just curl back into my mouth. Mm-hmm. The longer it gets, quit staring at it. Yeah, it's starting to grow.
It's starting to do it again.
Yeah.
Like especially like right here.
For some reason, mine just wants to curl.
You got some like rogue hairs here too lately.
Yeah, I know.
It's okay though.
I need to add more product. Add more beard oil. Yeah, I was eating. What was I eating today? The honey chipotle chicken, which is like a messy sauce, and then the ranch. And like they just kept picking at me all night because I just kept dripping.
No, I didn't say a word. I was engrossed in my burger. I didn't look up to see anybody. I was so hungry.
I do appreciate that because I won't be walking around with like ranch and like honey chipotle.
He did though. He looked up. He's like, Joe.
Yeah.
She's like,
yeah. Like of course.
They're a team.
Usually
like
comes
she knows.
Right before the waiter or waitress comes over. You need anything else? Nope. Looks like you got it.
All and there's just beard. Like all of his dinners and his beer. He's like, nope, we're good.
Yeah. Emma said Ashley Fenningworth's beard. Yep.
I didn't used to do it. I felt like it was like invading his space, but a lot lately I've been like, it is just so nice.
It's long enough. I guess it's worth it. So.
Do you like the way that feels?
It's fine. As long as I don't start purring like a cat.
You could purr if you wanted. I wouldn't care.
Or coo like the ducks. Ashley. said Marky could do one with the 3D printer. There you go.
Oh my gosh, yes.
I could pull that off. Ashley's big thing, I think Emma mentioned last time, is the chicken arms. So we're definitely going to be printing some of this. Yeah. Let's welcome everybody to the late night chat with Mulberry Grits. Things are getting weird. But
there's nothing wrong with weird. There's nothing wrong with weird. Hey. Weird is interesting. Sometimes like I said, if I'm in like a room full of hippies, I'm like, what freak flag are y'all flying? I want to know what makes you you.
Yep.
At least interesting places sometimes.
Yeah,
but
all right. Well, I think we are getting.
Yeah, we do need to actually go check again for coyotes. I need to let the dogs
I'm trying to look on the camera to see that little 3D thing back there. Check on Ashley's smug goat. See how far it's come along.
I'm actually getting something from the 3D.
She's actually going to try to paint it like one of her goats.
I do have one goat who is bulgy smug and judgy.
Yeah. And she wants to put the googly eyes on this thing. I don't know if they'll fit.
And yes, you can have a goat that is super judgy all the time. Her name is Belle here.
Bobblehead
and
she
does have monstrous eyes.
A googly eye goat in your car.
The other day, she was eating her cud by the fence in the sun, and she's just. And I said Belle, and all she did.
Yeah, Jay's exactly right. We are homesteaders. Who is it weird? Blue Farm put meow.
Meow.
Patty said Ben went to a barber once who trimmed his mustache hairs shorter. I went to kiss him and felt like a hairbrush.
Oh,
she's had that happen before, but she hates when it's over my lips more. Like,
yeah,
it feels weird. I guess.
I would rather it poke me than get in my mouth too. That's like,
yeah. But,
I love you, but not.
But when they get short, they can get prickly. So I totally get that. Emma said my favorite chicken arms are holding a cast iron frying pan and a spatula. Farm fresh.
No, I love it.
There are tons of different styles too. Weird is a way of life. My people.
Yeah,
we're all together in this boat.
We're all in this boat
but like
together.
I said, it's getting late, and
we're gonna let you guys go.
Too long. So
we got to do another security pass.
Really appreciate everybody joining us tonight.
We missed you guys on Wednesday a lot. It didn't feel right the whole week for me.
Like she posted, it was a surprise live.
Yeah.
We just got the idea, like, hey, we got things settled in here. Let's hop online, see who's on. So glad everybody joined us tonight.
Yeah, we are. So make sure that you guys are staying safe out there and being kind to one another. We will catch you all next time.
God bless.